after breaking away from what he called a dead-end job and pursuing his real love of comedy, Dane Baptiste became the first black Briton ever to be nominated for an Edinburgh Comedy Award.
He's since become very well known on the stand-up circuit, but now he's turned his hand to sitcoms. Sunny D follows a young man who's living with his parents, doing a job he doesn't like, basically having a quarter-life crisis. We'll speak to Dane in a moment, but let's have a look.
I grew up in the 90s. When I was younger, I thought that if I worked hard, played by the rules, and was nice to my mother, at this age, I'd be living like... Now, who's hot, who not? Tell me who rock, who sell out in the stores? You tell me who flop, who cop the blue drop, who jewels got pops, who's mostly Dolce down to the jewel top. The same old pimp, mace, you know ain't nothing changed but my limp. Can't stop till I see my name on the blimp. Guarantee a million sales, call it love or luck. You need these.
Oh, well, Dane...
that didn't happen, did it?
No, it didn't. Dane is here with us now. Lovely to see you. Thank you very much indeed. So just tell us a little bit about your character, kind of based on real-life experiences.
Yes, kind of based on real-life experiences. So I'd say the quarter-life crisis, I think it's something a lot of millennials and people from Generation X, Y go through, where I guess we all felt by being able to go to university and get a good job that the minimum of your life ambitions, like maybe being able to have a family or, you know, have a good job and a house was a given after hard work. But then you find now, just given the economic climate that I'm from London, where most people can't even afford a house. So yeah, it's just, I think a lot of people are like, well, I thought I would have known what I wanted to do with my life by this point, but it doesn't seem to be the case. So that's pretty much what I label as the quarter-life crisis. And yeah, I just got to a point where I was like, I spent all this time doing what I think I should be doing, so maybe I should just try and do something I actually want to do in my life, which is where it brings me to where I am today.
Yeah, and that's because the background to your stories, in real life story, is interesting, isn't it? Because you were like, you know, fully in a normal job, I suppose, before you turned into a professional comedian. Yeah,
no, I had completely normal 9 to 5. I never had my vision set on being involved in the creative industry. Like, I always enjoyed comedy, but I was like, it's something I like doing, but dreams don't necessarily pay the bills. And you know, I come from an immigrant family where, you know, you come here and you work very hard to get what you want, and so I tried to follow that ideal. But yeah, it just got to a point where I was suppressing who I was and then had to come out to my parents as a creative. And yeah.
How did that go?
The same way that most coming out conversations go. You know, people are just like, well, how long have you been hiding this from us? And, you know, are you around other creatives? Is that the kind of lifestyle you've been living? And have they influenced you? And do we need to pray for you? And then after a while, your parents learn to accept you for who you are, and then yeah, become a lot more supportive. And every now and again, they're still curious about some aspects of my life that I don't tell them about. But as long as I'm safe and staying out of trouble, they're very supportive.
I mean, and what you've done with the sitcom is you've sort of, I mean, I'm imagining here, use some of those stories and in a funny way.
Yeah, a lot of the people in the stories are based on people from actual life, but they are composite characters. So I think a lot of people that were there at various stages of my life will recognise some of the characters or some of their traits. But yeah, it's just, it was, I guess when I was working, I was thinking to myself, you know, some things that happened, I was like, I really need to tell this story and embellish it for comedic effect.
Yes.
But I think it works the best way for me to have those things, to have it based on experiences of my own life, because I think it's a lot more relatable. So yeah, that's how it works.
Let's have another clip from the show. This is where your character is about to be told off by your dad. Okay, so let's have a look.
In. Come in here, please.
Oh, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. You're in trouble. You're in trouble. You're in trouble.
My sister relishes so much in my woes, she's giving them their own theme song. You'll be in trouble when that silverback gorilla asks for its hair back.
Daddy! Dane's fashion shaming again!
As if you're ashamed.
I love what you've done, because you sort of use notes of music, also sort of referring other TV programmes as well. Was it Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
Yeah, Keeping Up with the Kardashians is coming up as well. And yeah, I just think I kind of grew up on a lot of US sitcoms and British sitcoms, so that's reflected in the show as well. And I think, again, it broadens the appeal just because a lot of people are kind of influenced by it. And yeah, I just think sometimes it's very different to do write for television or write for a sitcom than it is writing for stand-up because you have a lot more ways of demonstrating your point or demonstrating the punchline. So it's good because you have more than one stimulus to use in order to create a joke. So I have like more colours and there's effects and music. So yeah, it's been a rewarding experience.
Because a lot of the stuff you do on stage, your stand-up, is it's a lot about sort of race relations and identity politics, isn't it? I mean, do you feel that you're still trying to make a similar sort of point but via a sitcom, or is it very different, do you think?
It's not necessarily very different. I think so far as a sitcom goes, you know, as it been, you know, it's a situation comedy, is that if there occurs a situation where, you know, I may have to deal with race relations or there's going to be a discourse in the show, then I'll do it accordingly. But it's the sitcom really is about telling a story where I don't necessarily need to crowbar that commentary in there, because there is supposed to be some aspect of reality to it where not every conversation that people have is going to be that much in depth.
Yeah.
And whereas on stage, I guess because it's myself dressed down and it's a lot more minimalist, then it's more about my consciousness and me talking about issues that are more pertinent to that audience.
Tell me, have your parents seen it yet?
They've seen some clips.
And?
They're pretty happy with it.
Are they?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my parents,
Do they come and watch you when you're doing stand-up as well?
they don't, but they do see it. But that's
Right.
only because, you know, I guess because I turned my passion into a profession.
Yes.
You know, I don't feel that in my family it's very much about still having that humility. Whether you're not on your TV, you're still doing a job, and my job is no more important than any of my siblings or members of my family. So, you know, it's like anything else. You still aren't allowed to lie or cheat or steal. Doesn't matter what job you're doing, and you know, and try to cut down on the profanity. So,
Very good advice.
yes, exactly. So
Excellent.
they try and keep you grounded, and so, but yeah, but they're supportive from, you know, and I guess it's kind of like, while I was pursuing comedy, I was staying in their house, so
Yep.
yeah, I'd have to be like, come and see me. He's like, well, how about you contribute to the mortgage then? So we have an understanding, so it's fine.
A discussion.
Yeah.
Lovely to see you, Dane.
Thank you very much for having me.
Glad you came out as a creative, because it's great. Episode
you.
1 of Sunny D is available on BBC 3 right now.
It is indeed. All this morning we have